Thank you. Next, we're going to hear from Delegate Danny Marshall, who has been a member of the House since 1992. He is Vice Chairman of the Committee on Counties, Cities, and Towns, and more importantly for us, he is also a member of the Commerce and Labor Committee, which oversees much of our legislation. Delegate Marshall also serves on the Agriculture, Chesapeake, and Natural Resources Committees. And we have counted 11,288 credit union constituents in the 14th district. Please welcome Delegate Danny Marshall.
I'd like to have the list of those 11,000 names running for re-election so they recognize me. Well, thank you all for letting us be here, and I also want to echo what we talked about as far as not being involved. Our job is there to serve you, and one of the main things we have to do is we have to listen to you. And if we don't hear what's on your mind, then we don't exactly know which way to go. So please get in touch with us. We value your opinions. Again, we serve you, but we're there. There's a lot of issues that are before us each year. So there's issues not only for credit unions, but issues that also affect you in your private life. So please get in touch with us. I want to take a little bit of different tack than what the two gentlemen before us. Let's talk a little bit about jobs and what we have tried to do. The four of us have worked hard trying to bring jobs to this area. And I've lived here my whole life, and then just like a lot of you, and we have seen this area go from a very prosperous area to where we are now. And we're making progress. But it's pretty tough out there when every other community in the nation is looking for those same jobs that we're looking for. And it's not just the companies in the nation, it's folks overseas also. If you just look at, we had an economic hit here just last week of the Monogram meat snacks. Well, if you talk to the CEO of that company, he not only looked at here, he looked at other locations. He looked at taking this plant and moving it somewhere else. He also looked at taking those jobs and moving it somewhere else. So the reason I'm telling you this is it's very, very competitive. Now, one of the things that we do have an advantage of is Roscoe and I serve on the Tobacco Commission. And that's one of the things that if you go over in North Carolina, they do not have a tobacco commission. The tobacco commission basically starts at Clarksville and goes across the bottom part of the state and goes all the way to out to Tennessee. And we were able to help put funding, $400,000 into Monogram to help train those employees. And those little things like that are able to bring jobs to this area. Roscoe and I worked to bring $1.7 million for a new industrial park that's going to go down on 220. So that is why that we are very fortunate. Senator Charles Hawkins and Delegate Whit Clements back in the late 90s started the Tobacco Commission, and again, we're the only state in the nation that actually has that. So we are able to work with that. Another thing that Senator Reynolds and I serve on is the Virginia Manufacturers Commission. In fact, we have a meeting next week, and that commission is about trying to bring manufacturing jobs here and keep manufacturing jobs here. That's a tough issue right now with what's happening sometimes in Washington with the NAFTA bill that passed a few years ago, and then also this new cap and trade. It's a real threat that those jobs could go overseas. But we are working to try to bring those jobs here because we understand for you to be successful, you got to have some customers, and those customers have got to be out there so that you can interact with those and get business. So we are trying to do a lot of different types of things. We're trying to make sure that we are trying to bring jobs here. It is an uphill battle, but we're all working on that behalf. It's been an honor and a pleasure to serve you in the House for the last 8 years. It's an honor for you to come to Richmond to see us. The session down there is always very hectic, but it's always good to see those red scarves that you bring because you're very recognizable. So again, our job is to serve you, so please get in touch with us in any issue that you have. Thank you so much.
The message I'm getting tonight is even though it's tough times and the league has to cut back, we can't cut back on those red scarves. And I forgot to mention the most important thing about Delegate Marshall, because I guess we have a mini transportation thing going here, but he's a former race car driver.